What's up everyone, it's Kyle from Color Expression, back with another swatch and review. I'm excited to be partnering up with Mooncat today to look at their new Mermaid Tales collection, which is 6 new polishes that have some shimmer, some flakies, some of those new ultra-fine flakies that we're seeing from Mooncat, and some hollow. So a lot of cool stuff going on, and I cannot wait to look at them in a little bit more detail in this video today. These shades are here to stay and available today, so I will link the Mooncat website down below. They retail between $14 and $15 USD individually, or you can grab the whole collection as a set for a slight discount at $77 USD. Mooncat is an independent nail polish brand that is based out of the USA. Their formulas are 10-free, vegan, and cruelty-free, and they ship to a lot of different countries, so I will link that FAQ page down below so you can see if they ship to yours. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe with notifications turned on if you haven't already. That way you're always going to be up to date on the newest Mooncat and nail polish content, but I think it's time we swim on over to these swatches. So first up we have Moonjelly. This one is a sort of milky white base, and then in that base we have a scattered hollow glitter. We have a sort of pearly shimmer pigment. You can see it's that kind of blue looking effect in the polish, and from this angle it does have that blue color, but then as that one shifts through it has a color shift over to a really nice sort of pink shade. And then we also have some iridescent flakes in here, and from this angle and in general they're almost a little bit tough to see in some lighting, but once you start wiggling the nail around, you're in sun, you're in shade, you're sort of getting these different effects on the nail. It truly looked so amazing. Those iridescent flakies in here add such a dimension and depth. They're sort of green and pink from this angle, and then at the other angle they're like gold and pink, so you get this cool shift of color there. You're getting that color shift in the other sort of shimmer pigment. And I think that the way that all of the different things in this polish come together to create that final look, it's so nice. It's truly like seashells on your nails. It has that pearly effect, the iridescence to it. It's like such a beautiful polish. And with that added hollow glitter, it's just truly, oh, it is amazing. Up next we have Merkitten, and this one is a hot pink base, and then in there we have that sort of shimmery pearly pigment. Again, you can see at this angle it is lighting up blue, but then it does shift over through a sort of purple and then to a pink color as well, so we get that cool little shift of color in here, and we also get that scattered hollow glitter. So a bunch of great things mixed together in this shade as well, and I felt like this one looked good in 2 coats that built up really nice coverage. I don't think I mentioned on the last one, that one looked best in 3 coats to me, but this one looked good in 2, and you'll see a little bit of variation on that throughout the collection. But back to this shade, I love the way that that pigment in here lights up through that pink base. It's just so cool when the light hits the nail at that right angle. It's just like this icy cold shimmer. It's like water on the nail. It's like, oh, it's such a cool effect. So I really like this one. If you like pinks, you're definitely gonna love this shade. Next we have Hermit Crab, and this one is a sort of coral jelly base. It's so hard to be like, is it orange? Is it red? Is it pink? I truly couldn't call it any of those. It's such a cool mix of sort of all of those colors in one. And then in that base, we have a bunch of a shimmer pigment and some iridescent flakes. So you can see at this angle, the shimmer is almost a sort of pinky color, and the iridescent flakes are this sort of golden, slightly orange, I think from mixing in with the base polish. But once these shift over in the more extreme angle, you're going to get kind of a green effect from both of them. So we're getting that sort of underwateriness to it, but in the other light, we're getting that really nice gold, and I think that this would be a really nice fall polish, but also so good for summer. It's so bright, it's so beachy, and with that jelly base, I did this one in 2 coats, and it left that sort of squishy feel, like a little bit of nail line. It was just, oh, I loved the pigments in here, and I think that they nailed it on the base color as well, so definitely a fan of this shade too. Next up, we have Plankton. This one is a gorgeous green polish. This one is like seaweedy to me. It's, oh my god, I love this color, especially in the context of a mermaid collection, but the shade itself is a, I believe, slightly tinted green base. And then in there, we have so much of this super fine, sort of iridescent, pearly, shimmery pigment. I don't even know what this is. I feel like it's definitely in other mooncat polishes, but the way that they executed it into this shade is just amazing. I cannot even handle it. It's so glowy, it's so bright. You can see we also have that hollow glitter in here, so as you move your nails around, you'll get that rainbow sparkle. But I don't know, something about this pigment, it's the way that the light hits it and the nails truly light up. It's so gorgeous, and it does have a really subtle shift over to a sort of tealish blue. You can almost see it there where the light hits the nail, but in person you get that a little bit more, and I think it's just a really nice effect. It almost feels like your nails are underwater. Up next is Catfished, and untrue to its name, this shade is going to be as gorgeous in person as you think it is when you see it online. This is that new sort of ultra fine flaky formula that Mooncat's been doing. It's like iridescent flakes but chopped up super small, so you can see as we start to apply this shade, we're getting a bunch of that pigment, we're getting some hollow glitter in here, and those are nestled in a sort of a tinted blue jelly base. So as we build those up, we're going to get the depth of that polish color, we're going to get all those layers of flakies, and I did choose to do this one in 3 coats just because I felt like that gave super opaque coverage of these flakies. But if you want that sort of underwatery look, I think 2 coats is gonna look really good still. But once we built it up in 3, you can see so much of those gorgeous flakies. I can't handle it. They're so sparkly. They're almost like a glitter with how they hit the light in all sorts of different angles and reflections. And of course, they have a color shift. So here you can see they're sort of a bluish, kind of gold, kind of green color, but then in the more extreme angle, they do all shift over to purple. So you get this really cool purple color at some angles when you're just wearing this one. And oh, I am such a fan of this shade. I love it. Rounding out the collection, we have Bermuda Triangle, which, am I the only person that as a child was terrified of the Bermuda Triangle? Is that just me? I had like an irrational fear of it. But anyway, this shade is a purple base. I'd say this one is pretty crelly-ish. It's like a little bit more opaque than a jelly. So in that base, we have a shimmer pigment and an iridescent flaky as well. And from this angle, they both sort of give off a blue-green, like a teal effect. But then as these shift over in different lighting, you're gonna get a really cool shift over to like a mix of purple and green. So it's like, it's really interesting. I think there's 2 different colors of iridescent flakes in here, and that's what's causing that like really cool mix of colors in the end. But I did build this one up in 3 coats. I felt like that gave really nice coverage between the shimmer and the flakies, and oh, it's just such a gorgeous purple. And then with that really nice contrast of color in here, the blue, the sort of green, it's like such a nice effect. Again, super underwatery, ocean-like. I just love this, the whole theming, this whole collection is just so gorgeous. Speaking of the whole collection, let's take a look at it together so you can see the range of shades we're getting, the range of pigments, but again, super cohesive. I feel like Mooncat always does such a good job with that. They tie everything together with that concept in the end, even if the shades all are a little bit unique, a little bit out there and funky, but that's exactly what I love about them, is they mix different things up, they try new things, and I think it always pays off. Now that we've seen these new shades, I want to hear your thoughts on them, so leave a comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite. Did you pick up this whole collection? Did you grab just a few of them? Personally, I love a mixed formula collection. I always say it and I always will, because I just find it so fun when a concept is executed in a bunch of different ways that are then cohesive. And I think that this collection totally captures that mermaid underwater sea life vibe. It's such a nice theming, and I think all of the polishes look so good together individually. I think that you could do some cool nail art with these. So just overall, I love the concept. I love all of the different shades and finishes and pigments and everything that we got in here. It feels like the ocean in a collection. So I am totally a fan of these shades. Like I mentioned earlier, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and send this video to all of your mermaid loving and polish loving friends. But I think that's going to be it for this one today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I don't know, this new ultrafine